Hi, this is Jeremy Moskowitz, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use PolicyPak Cloud to deliver real Microsoft group policy settings through PolicyPak Cloud. Now we have another video expressly for how to do similar stuff, which is PolicyPak settings through PolicyPak Cloud, but this video is just and only about Microsoft settings through PolicyPak Cloud. Now the way we do this, there's two ways. One is to use our in-cloud editors. So you just pick the group where your computer is. I'm going to pick the special all group, and this is going to affect all computers. And you simply create link a new policy. And you can see we've got the in-cloud editors. This is from Microsoft admin templates. These are for most of the group policy preferences, not all of them, but most of them. And then here's Microsoft security settings. And like I said, the PolicyPak settings are down here. But just to get started, we'll do each category one by one. So here's our admin templates manager. We'll go ahead and click OK. And let's say we wanted to do kill control panel, something that every admin can do. We'll just go ahead and go to policy, new policy here. And then here are all the ADMX settings. Now we keep most of the big stuff up to date for you. You don't even have to think about it. So if you want to go to Windows, Control Panel, prevent access to the control panel and PC settings, just like Microsoft in group policy land, you just go ahead and click select and say you want to make it enabled. Now we have an extra superpower here, which is that you can use item level targeting and then limit where this is going to take effect. So if you wanted to say only do this for my laptops or my desktops or for my roaming machines on certain IP ranges, or when a computer name has a particular match, you can do that as well. I'm not going to do that here, but it gives you an extra superpower. So control panel, kill the control panel is set to enabled, and click OK again. Now this policy, the kill control panel, I've got two of them here because I got one from a previous demo, okay, is linked here. If you go to show policy settings, you can see prohibit access to the control panel set to enabled. Let's head over to our endpoint here, and we're going to, he's already joined to PolicyPak Cloud, just do ppcloud/sync. And when we do this, it's going to grab the latest policies from PolicyPak Cloud. You can see there's the admin templates manager kill control panel edict. You just count to 10 or so, and then we can go try this out. We go to control panel, and boom, this operation has been canceled. Please contact your system admin. So therefore, we are in fact delivering a good old-fashioned admin template through PolicyPak Cloud. When you're done using it, you can click here again and disable the policy link and put a little red X. That means don't do it anymore. And then if we to resync through PolicyPak Cloud Sync, you can see we don't get that policy setting anymore. If we count to 10, we can just try to see what happens after that. We'll go back to control panel here, and boom, control panel is now available. So just like when you're domain joined and on-prem, PolicyPak Cloud will do the exact same mechanism for delivering and undelivering real group policy settings. Now that is the admin template stuff. Let's go ahead and do another one by clicking on our group. We'll then create and link a new policy here. Let's go ahead and do a shortcut item. Okay, this is a group policy preferences shortcut item, or a registry, or local users and groups, scheduled tasks, and so on. So I'm not going to go into all these things. Shortcut is a really easy one for us to just sort of demonstrate together. So if I want to give this shortcut and call this pp cloud link, whatever, I can go ahead and create a new shortcut here. Okay, and then if I want to give this a name like www.gpanswers.com, okay, I want to make this a URL on the desktop, and I want to make this same name. I'll give it the target URL of gpanswers.com, okay, and then the icon index path here, well, this is a little bit of a guess because we don't show all the graphics here. I can show you how to do this on-prem, and you can carry it over. But the idea is that you could just put an icon index here and get the icon you wanted. Then after that, you can click on the common items to see if you want to do any special processing. And you can also, of course, add a description. Okay, and not to mention item level targeting. So again, once again, if you want to just dictate it to specific computers, IP ranges, and so on, you could do that. So I'll go ahead and click OK. Now I've got my directive locked and loaded in here. I'll go ahead and click OK here. It's again linked over to my special all group. Let's go ahead and see if I run ppcloud/sync. There it is. I got my shortcut coming, so I'm just going to wait for it. I'm looking for GPanswers to magically pop up on the desktop here. Boom, And there you go. gpanswers.com, double click on it, and you're off to the races. Okay? So the point of the story is that it's very easy to perform group policy preferences operations as well. Now, before I forget, I want to talk about how to remove items that are from group policy preferences. So if we click on the item we had earlier and click on edit, if we double click on this guy, if we take a look inside description, under comment, okay, let's go ahead and click on common here. What we need to do is to have this thing remove the item when it's no longer applied. When we do this, remove the item when it's no longer applied, then we will know that when you don't want the policy setting anymore to womp it. So let's go back over to our endpoint here. Let's run, in fact, just to prove a point, I'll take this item and throw it in the trash. Then I'll run pp cloud sync. We're going to see it come back. Okay, we're going to see it come back, and then we'll know that we're locked and loaded for when it's time to remove the policy to then automatically have it removed. So let's give it, there we go. So we're ready to go. Now we'll go back over here. We'll go to our PP Cloud link, the one that we were just working with. Let's go ahead and disable the policy link. Now that it's disabled, we'll go back to our endpoint, and we can see there's two, PP Cloud link and the PolicyPak Cloud PolicyPak shortcut on the desktop. Let's go ahead and rerun the sync here. Now we're down to one policy, that's this guy, and 10 seconds later, this guy should be removed because we taught group policy preferences to remove the item when it's no longer applied. Bingo, bango, there we go. Okay, last but not least, let's do something in the security space. Let's go ahead and click on all. We'll go ahead and create and link a new policy here. And let's do a Microsoft security setting to rename the admin account. Okay, so let's go to call this rename admin. So you can go ahead, there's restricted groups and also other policies. So for instance, if you wanted to go to account policy, password policy, Kerberos, or account policy, you can change any of those guys. You can set anything in the event log and also the local policies, which is where I'm headed right now. If we go to security options, there is accounts, rename the admin account here, and I'll go ahead and select it. I will configure it, and then I'll call this thing admin123 just so we can see that it's changed. I'll go ahead and click OK, and I'll click OK again. I'll go back over to my endpoint. I'll run ppcloud/sync. Make sure I got the policy here. Don't see it yet, so let me try it one more time. Oh, there it is. Yes, there it is. Security manager, rename admin. Okay, so that's it. So now all we got to do is count to 10. In order to validate this, we're going to cheat a little bit and run as administrator because there's no real way to see this otherwise. And if we then go to gpedit.msc, and we go to Windows settings, security settings, local policies, security options. Boom, there it is. Rename the admin account to admin123, and we've done the thing. Now to put a fine point on it here, if you were to take this same policy and now remove it, okay, rename admin and remove, okay, if you were to disable the policy here or remove it, actually I'll just go ahead and unlink it and say goodbye to it entirely. Let's see the behavior because this is an important understanding here, okay? So you can see that it's currently not available to be manipulated. Let's go now to ppcloud/sync and see the behavior here. Okay, so I no longer have that policy anymore. I'll go back to gpedit.msc. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's changed. We go to Windows, security settings, local policies, security options, and you can see rename the admin account is back the way you would expect. Now, this is not going to be the case for every security setting. So you should know that not every security setting will know what to fall back to. So just be aware of that. Some things will be maintained and don't have anything to fall back to. But that's the basic gist here. Okay. Now I mentioned there were two ways to get Microsoft group policy settings into PolicyPak Cloud. I showed you the in-cloud editor way. There's the other way, which is how to export settings. So the idea is that you've probably seen in other videos, we recommend that you have a little offline test lab where you've got a domain controller and an editor and a domain joined machine to do some base hit testing on. That's great. This is how you would do that. You basically create your directive. Let's say you want to create a group policy preferences item or an admin template setting. Let's call this PPGPO123. It doesn't really matter what it is. You're going to use PolicyPak in MMC editors to create the directives. Or you can use Microsoft stuff. So let's say you wanted to create another shortcut item or complex registry or something that we don't have in the Cloud Editor. It's not a problem. For instance, devices is not something we have in Cloud Editor. What you could do is new device, and if you wanted to disable all CD-ROMs by clicking on that, this is a valid entry, and this is an item type that we will support in PolicyPak Cloud, but we don't have a Cloud Editor for. What are you going to do? Well, all you need to do, and I'm trying to get to my desktop here, is you can take the item and drag it to the desktop and create an XML. Once you have it as an XML, you can open it in Notepad. Okay, you can then copy it, go to PolicyPak Cloud, and for your all, you can create and link a new policy here. Whoops, sorry, upload and link a new policy here, and paste it right in. There we go. We don't have a way to edit it in Cloud, but it's not a problem. If you want to go GP prefs kill all evil CD-ROMs, this will work. Bang, okay, and you're off to the races. So this item type, you can see, will do the thing, and it will work for your Cloud machines. Just to prove a point, if I were to, I don't know if I have an evil, yes, there, I have an evil CD-ROM. Let's see what happens if I want to kill my evil CD-ROMs. So if I were to run ppcloud/sync, okay, you can see there's a group policy preferences item, kill all evil CD-ROMs. If all goes well and I count to 10, the evil CD-ROM will die a horrible death. Boom! No more evil CD-ROMs, just like that. Okay, so the point is that if there's not an in-Cloud editor, again, what I would typically do is actually make sure that that policy worked by running GP update on this domain join machine and then export it to Cloud. I kind of went a little fast there. All right, so that's how you can export a group policy preferences item. For admin template items, okay, for admin template items, we have an exporter utility. I have a whole video just on that exporter utility, but you can also use our admin template manager here to right-click, add new policy here. This is going to use everything and anything you have in your central store. So if you have something really weird in your central store, like Citrix, HDMX, Media Stream, whatever the heck this thing is, who cares? Some unusual policy, well, you can set it here in PolicyPak land. Okay, the screen's a little big, but you get the idea. You can set it here in PolicyPak land. And then once you've got all your configuration you want, you can right-click, view as XML in Notepad, take this unusual configuration that you can only do on-prem, copy it, go to PolicyPak Cloud, we'll go to our group here, upload and link a new XML here, paste, and you're off to the races. So we'll call this PPATM special on-prem, on-prem ADMX, whatever the heck it is. It doesn't really matter, but there we go, and you've got that setting. Last but not least would be the security settings. Sometimes it's going to be easier to manipulate the group policy settings directly in the group policy editor. So if you go to policies, Windows settings here, and you've got some configuration that you want to do here in the security settings that we don't currently have an editor for, that's totally fine. Many things are supported, some things are not, and we'll show you how to deal with that. If I were just to do some event log settings to make this go a little faster here, I'll do this guy and I'll do this guy here and whatever. It doesn't really matter for the sake of what I'm doing here. You can then, how do you export it? Can you right click and click export? Nope, that's not a thing. But what you can do is under PolicyPak GPO reduction and transition, you can click on Security Settings Manager Wizard, which will read this GPO's security side contents and tell you, yep, you're clear for liftoff to export those particular settings. Okay, we'll go ahead and click next, next, next here, and we'll put this on the desktop, ppsec export here. Go ahead and click next, and we're done. So once we have those settings dropped to XML, here we go. I'll edit it in Notepad++. You can see these are the event log settings that we just said we wanted. We'll copy those. We'll go back to PolicyPak Cloud. We will then upload and link a new XML here. We'll just drop it right in place. And there it is, ppsec export 1, whatever it is, and click add. And if we take a look at the take a look at the actual values in here, you can see those are the same values that we would have gotten. So once again, if we don't have an in-cloud editor, if you go to create link a new policy here and you're looking for a thing and we don't have an editor, that's why you need to have a fallback plan to use your PolicyPak fake domain controller and domain join machine, do a small scale test, give it the old thumbs up, and then export the real GPO setting and export it into PolicyPak Cloud. So I hope this video helps you out. Once you get the hang of this and you're ready to do PolicyPak settings, same idea. We're going to use the PolicyPak in-cloud editors, PolicyPak Cloud in-cloud editors first. And if that doesn't work, you can fall back to use any of our MMC editors and then take those settings and upload those to PolicyPak Cloud. Basically the same gist. Hope this video helps you out. Looking forward to getting you started with PolicyPak Cloud real soon. Thanks.